Welcome back to the Action Zone. You're watching Undisputed Wrestling Desk, where WWE comes alive. Subscribe and get ready for the latest updates. Rhea Ripley's shocking return on WWE Raw was one of those moments that made every wrestling fan jump out of their seat. After months of recovery from a legitimate shoulder injury and surgery, the Eradicator is finally back, and she's apparently stepping right into the chaos of War Games. The crowd reaction was thunderous, the energy was electric, and yet, instead of feeling pure excitement, many fans, myself included, felt a wave of concern. Is WWE bringing one of its biggest stars back too soon just for a quick ratings boost? The return that shook Raw. When Rhea's music hit, the entire arena exploded. Her absence had left a massive void in the women's division. Few performers command the same presence, charisma, or intensity. She walked out looking stronger than ever, clearly motivated and confident. Whether she was joining a team, cutting a fiery promo, or just letting her presence do the talking, the message was unmistakable. Rhea Ripley was back, and she was ready for war. This moment should have been nothing but a celebration. But the more details emerged, her involvement in the dangerous War Games match, the more uneasy things started to feel. War Games, WWE's most brutal spectacle. For anyone unfamiliar, War Games isn't your typical wrestling match. Two rings sit side by side, surrounded by a steel cage. Multiple competitors enter at intervals, weapons get introduced, and chaos reigns until every participant has entered. Bodies fly into the cage, tables break, and the action rarely stops. It's thrilling to watch, but also among the riskiest match types in WWE history. Given the nature of War Games, it's understandable that fans are questioning whether it's the right setting for Rhea's first match back after shoulder surgery. Even for completely healthy wrestlers, it's a grueling environment. Rhea's drive vests WWE's incentives. It's important to remember who Rhea Ripley is, a fierce competitor who thrives on proving herself. She's not the kind of athlete who'd want to sit on the sidelines any longer than necessary. If doctors cleared her and she felt capable, it's easy to see why she'd jump at the chance to return on a big stage like War Games. Her passion for wrestling and connection with fans is obvious, but at the same time, WWE is a global entertainment company with TV ratings, live ticket sales, and merchandise revenue. To consider bringing Rhea back for War Games is a smart business move. It boosts excitement for Survivor Series season, revitalizes the women's division, and draws major attention. The worry is that those business incentives might sometimes overshadow the more cautious medical approach performers need. The teams and the dynamics. The War Games teams are crucial to understanding what WWE plans for Rhea next. Is she aligning with Judgment Day again, reuniting with her old allies? Or is she forming new partnerships with other women who've carried the division in her absence? Each scenario opens up different storytelling opportunities. There's also the question of her opponents. If WWE stacks the other side with experienced ring veterans known for working safely, fans might breathe a little easier. But if the lineup includes less experienced wrestlers or last-minute changes, the risk of miscommunication grows. War Games already demands perfect timing and coordination. Adding someone returning from surgery increases the need for careful planning. The pressure to return. The pressure that comes with being a top WWE star is real. Every week off TV can feel like momentum slipping away. The company moves quickly, storylines evolve. Even if no one explicitly says it, performers often feel compelled to get back before they're fully confident in their body. That's not necessarily WWE forcing anyone. It's the nature of a business built on weekly television and constant storytelling, but it does create an environment where athletes may push themselves harder than they should. For Rhea, who's only 27 and potentially has another decade or more of greatness ahead, one misstep now could affect the rest of her career. The culture of working through pain. In wrestling culture, there's a long-standing mentality of toughing it out. Performers pride themselves on pushing through pain, not wanting to disappoint fans or lose their spot. That same mindset that creates legends can also lead to long-term damage. Rhea's desire to compete is admirable, but sometimes the hardest thing for an athlete is saying, "Not yet." Hopefully, her decision to return came from complete confidence, not from pressure, fear of losing momentum, or company influence, because her career deserves longevity, not short-term sacrifice. A history of rushed returns. The wrestling world has seen plenty of cautionary tales. Superstars who rushed back too soon, re-injured themselves, and were never quite the same. Each case is different, but the pattern is familiar. When big matches or major events approach, timelines seem to accelerate. WWE has gotten better at handling injuries, but the instinct to create big moments sometimes overrides patience. That's why fans are wary. It's not cynicism, it's experience. They've seen this story before and hope this time it ends differently. What's at stake for Rhea Ripley? Rhea is in her prime, and her ceiling is sky high. She's already been champion, led factions, and main evented shows. If handled carefully, she could define the next decade of women's wrestling. But that depends on staying healthy. The goal isn't to keep her out of the ring. It's to ensure that when she is in the ring, she can perform at her full, devastating potential without limitations. That's what fans truly want: longevity, dominance, and the chance to see her continue evolving without being sidelined by preventable setbacks. The hope for War Games. If everything goes right, War Games could be a triumphant night for Rhea Ripley. The perfect statement that she's back and better than ever. The agents and producers will hopefully design spots around her strengths and protect that shoulder. The other women in the match are professionals who know how important she is to the company and to fans, and they'll work hard to make sure everyone gets through safely. And if Rhea walks out of that cage unscathed, it'll be one of the most memorable returns of the year. A story of resilience and redemption. Final thoughts. Rhea Ripley's return should be celebrated. She's worked incredibly hard to get back, and her presence immediately elevates WWE programming. But it's also fair to ask whether War Games is the right first step. The company, the medical team, and the performers all share responsibility for making sure that excitement doesn't come at the expense of safety. So, as we head into War Games, let's hope for the best. That WWE took every precaution, that Rhea's shoulder is truly ready, and that the match becomes a showcase for her strength rather than a test of her limits. If all goes well, this comeback could mark the start of another dominant era for Rhea Ripley, one built on both power and prudence.